Your sexual energy is the foundational bedrock to creating and becoming the person that you desire inside. If you do not hold this sexual energy within you, you are giving away your mental strength. You are giving away the essence of your soul and your vitality. And you are also draining your reserves to become creative, to create things in your life, to create new habits, and to stay consistent in all of these. It's really a paradox because the mind is extremely important, but this is the seat of the mind. This is the seat of your mental power. And if you do not have a reserve of mental power, of mental strength, then you will not have the energy, you will not have the clarity, and you will not have the motivation to do the things that are difficult. Your seed is alive. Your seed is vibrating and teeming with life. It literally has an aura around the head of the sperm. It is the essence of creation. It has the power to create a life. So, whenever you are not creating a life, you are using that energy to create the life you want. Your life becomes your baby. Your life becomes the potential of the life that you can create. I'm just sharing my own thoughts on this. I'm sharing my own experience because I believe and I have felt within myself that the longer I retain my essence, the more mental power I have. And whenever I mean mental power, I mean it in all assets, because all is mind. All is mind. Whatever you are on the inside reflects on the outside. My energy is so much more potent than it ever has been, because everything that I do in my life is a catalyst to becoming the person that I desire. Not giving in to masturbating or orgasming is the fuel to giving me the energy, the fire, the motivation to do the hard things, to create in a different way. Now, I have a different viewpoint on a lot of this, and I do this practice differently because I am not afraid to give love to myself. But I see this practice as a training ground for holding back, giving myself away. And that is what the most important thing is. It's playing your edge. What is the edge of your ability? What is the furthest that you can take yourself? Because the further you can take yourself today, the further you will go tomorrow. Every single day, every single action we take up today, every single challenge we do is fueling us and growing ourselves to be able to take on a higher resistance, to be able to hold a stronger charge. That masculinity, that power that lies at the seat of your root, whenever you understand how to harness it and to apply it to the difficulties in your life, to allow that energy to fuel everything in life becomes easier. Because you are a battery. You are literally a battery. And if you allow your energy to leave you, then you will not have the amperage, the voltage, the supply to do the things that are hard. You will not be able to overcome the resistance. Now, I do not believe that this practice is the end all be all, because there's a lot of examples of people who have achieved tremendous things without using this. But I do believe for myself that this is a cornerstone practice, and it is a cheat code to life. And I don't want to use that word lightly, but I do believe that if you aren't one of the reserved ones to be able to handle this practice, then you won't be able to do it, because it's going to test you. And I've seen this because I've shared this information with people who were not ready in that moment, and they will get weeded out. They will get burnt by the fire, because the fire it's like playing with fire. If you can't tame the fire is going to burn you. The fire is going to be overwhelming. But if you can put that fire in a container, if you can harness that fire for your own personal gain, oh my goodness, your life will change. Your life will change, and I have witnessed my life change every single day. I have witnessed the change within myself in such a short amount of time, and I know numerous men have actually seen the same thing. And the most important thing about this practice is that, from what I've gathered, is it builds your mental fortitude. It builds your mental presence, because your mind starts to evolve, or in a better sense, you become more aware. You become more conscious, and whenever you become more conscious of your life, you have the ability and the decision to make a change or to remain the same. And that is the most important thing. That is why meditation is so important. Because whenever you start to stare at the thoughts that are happening within yourself, whenever you are able to observe the person that you have become, the programming that has gone within yourself, you're now presented with an opportunity to remain the same or to change. And I can tell you this, there's a lot that we have the opportunity to change. And this society is full of belief systems that are disempowering. For one, the widely accepted view of lust. For men, it is pretty much, and for women nowadays, it is encouraged to sleep around, to date. I mean, look at the dating culture nowadays. Women's expectations are so freaking high that most men could never even come close to matching that. And if someone was dating someone and another man came along with those high bars set, the woman will leave that man, and that is in their nature, so it's not against them as polygamy. But even the men see women as objects and just another way to get off. And this is lust at its finest form. And guess what? Lust is detrimental to your progress as a man. Just as if you are masturbating and releasing your energy, so is it with a woman. Now, this is where the practice can get deep, because your sexual energy is a training ground for your evolution. It is a container that can either propel you or drain you, literally. Now, there's a lot of different types of practices on this. You have nofap, you have semen retention, you have complete abstinence and celibacy, and those are all levels to this practice. But the very most important thing is at least retaining your energy. Now, retaining your energy is going to allow you to use that energy in other places in your life. And it's going to bring up aspects of yourself that you may not have wanted to address before. But this is the natural unfolding of the process. And it is like a refining. It is a purging of your system. So if you are going through this, embrace the purge, because at the end of the purge is the creation. Once you decide to let go of the things that are no longer serving you, you then have the opportunity to choose to program in what it is you want in your life, what it is you want to become, what it is you stand for, and what it is you seek in life. And that's up for you to decide. But this practice I find to be the bedrock of success, of momentum, of an exuberance and an overflowing of energy. Because one can argue that masturbation is natural, and I would not argue against it, but an excessive amount of masturbation, especially whenever you are ejaculating and watching porn, is extremely draining. Because let's just take the testosterone and prolactin cycle, for example. Whenever you ejaculate, your body physically releases the chemical called prolactin, which reduces your testosterone. Testosterone is your ability to have the drive to push through the hard things in life and to get fulfillment from doing hard things. And prolactin is what makes you feel content. It's basically the chemical that puts you into family rearing mode. It is the chemical that tells you and claps for you, good job, you procreated. But guess what? Most of these people have not procreated. They spilt their seed all over the ground, into a tissue, onto themselves. And that woman they never even met, and it'll be a different woman the next time. And they're going to do it again the next day. And this essence, let's just put that aside. The semen takes an incredible amount of energy to produce. It is literally the body's most vital essence or substance produced. It's actually the last substance to be produced in the chemical makeup of the body. Your body is going to focus on your brain, your nervous tissue, your skin, your muscles, your bones, your fat, your bone marrow, and then it's going to eventually, at the last point, start to build your semen, your sperm. And if we are ejaculating that every single day, Our body is in a constant state of depletion, just like if we were to be giving blood every single day. So ask and just meditate on that. How do you think you would feel if you were to donate blood every single day? If you were to be constantly putting your body into a state of having to be repaired, then you're going to feel drained because your body is having to use resources to fill in those gaps. But what would happen if you stopped draining yourself? What would happen if you allowed your body to build instead? To build and to harness that reserve for energy, for supplying yourself to do even more difficult things. Now, we know that whenever you start to retain your sperm actually starts to mature. It takes about 70 days for your sperm to fully mature. It's called spermogenesis, or spermatogenesis. And this is the full maturation cycle of sperm. So if your body is constantly working to mature its sperm, what do you think is happening whenever you release every single day? So I guess the point of this video is really reflect to yourself how you feel whenever you are releasing your sexual energy, how you feel whenever you're focusing on being lustful, giving energy to women, giving energy to porn, thinking about these things, scrolling on your phone, looking at explicit content, objectifying people, seeing them as instruments to get off, masturbating whenever you could be doing something productive and beneficial for your life. And if you're still doing any of this, I behoove you to just be aware and let the awareness guide you. Let your consciousness be your testimony. That's all I did. I did not believe in a lot of this before, but what happened is that I observed myself. I observed myself whenever I would ejaculate. I observed myself whenever I let myself be lustful. I observed myself whenever I started to cling to desire or to chase women over my dream. And I came to all of these realizations that these are all counterproductive to becoming the man that I desire to be. And yeah. So let this be a foundational practice. You don't have to get extremely identified with it, but be aware of it. Be aware of it and possibly decide to start using this as a catalyst for your change. Use the oppositional forces, the resistance that can happen from deciding to fall into those negative habits and deciding to do something else. Because you have to make a choice. It's either you decide to do the bad habit, it's either you decide to do nothing and sit with that feeling, or you decide to do something different, fill in the gap, do something productive. And your life will be a reflection of the choice that you make. So really weigh the odds. What is more important in my life? Is it instant gratification, comfort, pleasure, or is it my purpose? Because a man's purpose is the most fulfilling thing in life. And without purpose, your life will be empty. Your life will be meaningless. And your life will actually be dreadful. So make sure you have your purpose and make sure you are using your energy to fulfill it. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I would love to hear your own experiences with what I'm talking about or what your struggles are. I'm here for you. Thank you for watching. And I'm sending you all much love, blessings, peace, and light. Namaste to you all.